So if you haven't already heard, DonutSMP has started banning certain mods, and when you join the server with one of these mods, you'll receive a disconnect message like this. This isn't recent news either. I think they started doing this in around mid-February, but I'm not actually sure when this went into effect. At the start of this month, I heard from someone that the way Donut actually checks for these mods is by using the translation keys, which I'll explain what that actually means later. Today I'm going to explain how they do this at the packet level, what mods they are actually blocking, how resource packs can ban you using this method, and how DonutSMP is actually abusing an exploit to perform this. In this video I might use the terms exploit and vulnerability interchangeably, but what I'm demonstrating is a known security vulnerability because it allows the server to extract information from the client in a way that was not intended by Mojang. Up until now, I didn't actually know how the server could detect mods. All I knew was that it was using translation somehow. From what I know, the server gets the client, which is your game, to translate a key. If the key resolves to the right text, it will flag you. You might be asking me, what are translation keys? Minecraft needs to support a whole bunch of languages, so instead of hard coding the text for everything, they'll replace it with a key like this. The game can replace that key with the correct text depending on what language the player is using. Mods can also define their own translation keys so they can support different languages, and that's what DonutSMP checks for. To properly work out how they're doing this, I found this tool called Sniffcraft, which lets me inspect every packet that gets sent to my client. It creates a proxy that can see everything that goes through it. This tool is not against the rules, and proxies do have real-world applications apart from reverse engineering. Now, for the whole time I was doing this, I was scared I was gonna get banned, but it should be fine because they only ban you if you connect twice with a banned mod. So here I have the Sniffcraft dump, and as you can see, the server and client exchange all this data when I join. This is all normal and nothing weird has happened yet. Okay, here's where the checks actually start. Donut first sends a block update packet which tells the client that there's a specific block at these coordinates. I believe this block state belongs to the cherry hanging sign, but don't quote me on that, I'm not 100% sure. Next, the server sends another packet called block entity data. This one modifies the sign's contents and puts the text key.mediaclient.openGUI into the first line. Instead of just putting the text, it's telling us to translate the text using our translation keys on our client. And it also says if the translation key doesn't exist, aka the mod isn't installed, it should show full B. They chose this word because they didn't have the budget to write fallback. After that, another packet is sent to tell us to open the sign. This packet is sent in vanilla when you want to right-click a sign to edit it. This is where the main part of the exploit is performed. When the sign is open, the translated text is converted into plain text by the client. And also you don't see the sign open because all of this happens during the loading terrain screen. The server then sends a final packet called container close, which tells the client to close the sign GUI. The client sends back the plain text instead of the translation key, which the server can match and flag you for. They repeat this for every translation key they want to check. Here we can see we respond with a sign text packaged in a sign update packet. In vanilla, when you finish editing a sign, this is the packet that gets sent. It tells the server we have finished editing the sign and what we wrote. You can see that this packet shows full B, which is the fallback that was defined in the block entity packet. For this video, I installed the FreeCam mod to test the flagging. We can see that this specific packet shows toggle FreeCam instead of full B. We have just told the server that we are using FreeCam and this is how it detects it. Also, I noticed that you don't get your mods checked until you're out of spawn, probably because the translation exploit requires a sign to be fabricated. So now that we know how they detect these mods, we can see what mods they actually block using the packet inspector. As of the 25th of March 2026, DonutSMP scans for these translation keys. The keybind text for Meteor Client and Glazed, which is a DonutSMP focused Meteor add-on. the keybind for a soundboard mod, which I couldn't find the name of. Pedro probably blocked this one because he started cracking down on voice chat violations. These ones are all disallowed in the rules and belong to auto totem and inventory tweak mods. They also block health indicators, free cam, accurate block placement, and some macro mods. They block inventory sorting mods, and finally, Tweakaroo. I'm going to open the FreeCam mod in an archive viewer since a .jar is an archive just like a zip or a tarball. While I was downloading the mod, I noticed they actually have a warning about the exploit, which is pretty cool. In the archive viewer, if we head to the assets directory, then FreeCam, then lang, you can see all the language files that link translation keys to resolved text. If I inspect the enus file, we can see all these keys. The cool thing is that resource packs can also define these keys. If I drag this file into my resource packs lang directory, the translation keys are now resolved, and for all DonutSMP nodes, we have FreeCam installed, even though we only have a resource pack and no mods. Have a look. I'm going to join DonutSMP with no mods and only my resource pack. And there, I just got flagged without actually using the mod. This also means that bad actors can insert their own language files into resource packs before distributing them, meaning that you can get banned for using the wrong resource pack. I'll also show you how to check if your resource pack is doing this. Open the pack.zip in an archive viewer or extract it, and check for a lang file. You can use the Explorer search if you can't find it by typing lang/*.json. If nothing pops up, you're good to go. The two other vulnerabilities that the mod patches allow the server to track your device using resource packs. Basically, the server tells the client to download resource packs, and the server can tell if the client has already downloaded them before because of caching. Caching is just keeping a copy of something on your computer so you don't have to download it again. I'm not too good at explaining this, so I've linked an article about it in the description. That's all I have for this video. If you thought it was interesting, please consider subscribing. I mainly make videos about DonutSMP and stuff like that. Also, I just launched channel membership, so if you'd like to support me and get early access to videos and stuff, please check that out.